That's you live.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Animal Nursing Assistant Open Evening. I am Abby Barnes, I'm the Programme Lead for the Veterinary Nursing Degree Programme and the ANA course at the Barony campus.
Callie, that's you live.
Hi everyone, my name's Callie. I'm one of the teaching associates here at the Barony and I'll be the Animal Nursing Assistants course tutor.
That's your slide live.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk you through the Animal Nursing Assistants course and all you need to know if you're considering applying in the future. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, so we're situated at the Barony campus near Dumfries. We are one of 6 campuses. We have Ayr, Edinburgh, Oakridge, Elmwood and Aberdeen. And again, just to say, my name's Callie. I am a registered veterinary nurse. I was once a student here as well many years ago, also completing the Animal Nursing Assistant before then going on to do veterinary nursing. And I will be your course tutor for the ANAs, and I'm also the teaching associate in veterinary nursing, and I teach across HNC animal care as well. And I qualified from the Barony in 2014, which seems like forever ago now.
Hi, I'm Abby Barnes. I'm the Senior Lecturer and Programme Lead. So I'm a registered veterinary nurse myself and also a canine hydrotherapist. You can see me here with my dog Drum. I qualified from the Royal Vet College in 2011 and then went on to specialise as a rehabilitation nurse.
Okay, we have a wide range of lecturers and animal care instructors on campus here at Barony. We have a range of animal care instructors, registered veterinary nurses, and we also have MRCVS vets as well. And we've got quite a few animals on campus as well, so I just wanted to take a little bit of time today just to discuss what we have to offer on campus in terms of, you know, if you were going to do practical sessions and things. We have the kennels down in the animal care unit where we have a lot of staff dogs, so you're able to go in, work with the staff dogs, you can take them for walks, things like that. We have a range of species that the animal care instructors will go through with you, and they'll teach you, you know, what kind of housing they requirements, you know, what feed and water they require, from a range of snakes to tortoises. They have ferrets, rabbits, birds. They have lots, and they're actually in the process of getting quite a few different species at the moment, which is quite nice to see. We've got a few new things down there just now. You might be asking what type of entry requirements you'll need for getting onto the Animal Nursing Assistant course. You'll be expected to have a minimum of 3 National 5s with an A to C, preferably in English, Maths and a Science as well as 1 Nat 4. You'll also need a minimum of 2 weeks work experience in a veterinary practice. So if the Animal Nursing Assistant course is something that you're thinking of doing or you're unsure yet, this is the best way to kind of see if it's for you. And if you are thinking about it, then I'd certainly start looking at veterinary practices now, because it can take quite a while for you know, to organise that sort of experience with practices. So certainly start looking into that now, and please feel free, if you have any questions on the work experience or anything, then ask at the end, or if you forget to ask, then don't forget just to give us a phone call or pop us an email, okay? The Animal Nursing Assistant course is a 1-year programme. It is full-time and it is delivered over 3 college blocks. There is a mixture of theatrical and practical delivery, as well as your work experience that I was just talking about before. So as well as having your 2 weeks that you need to get onto the course, you'll also do some work experience while you're with us as well. There are progression options onto VN studies, so the Animal Nursing Assistant course is not a direct route onto our BSc Veterinary Honours degree veterinary nursing, but please just, if you have any questions on, you know, different progression routes, just get in touch and ask. It is a professional recognised qualification, so once you've qualified, you can work as an Animal Nursing Assistant caring for patients in the veterinary practice. So a little bit about work experience. Every student Animal Nursing Assistant will complete several weeks of work experience over the duration of their course. The work experience should be undertaken in a veterinary practice. You know, it can be local to you. So if you're coming from Glasgow or you're coming down just to stay with us for a while, it's up to you where you choose your practice to be. It's usually undertaken in 2-week blocks at a time, so the dates are still to be confirmed for next year, but usually it's around about October, December, February and April. And it's expected that you will be able to secure your own placement. However, I'll be able to support you in trying to find a placement if you are struggling in any way, because it can be quite difficult at times to get in touch with practices, and we have an actual module that can help you look and help for looking for a placement, which we'll talk about when we look at your timetable as well. So work experience again. Once you go into practice, you'll get a variety of things that you might be able to do. The tasks that you might get to do in practice will vary depending on where you are, but usually you might get an opportunity to do a bit of reception work, working with the animals, weighing them, taking a temperature, pulse, respiration rate. There'll be a lot of cleaning general duties as well, and packaging and sterilising surgical kits, and handling and restraint for the veterinary nurse to take blood samples, or the vet to take blood samples, or any other kind of task that's similar to that. So here's just an example of a timetable just for this year. So this will probably most likely change for next year, but this is our animal nursing assistants timetable for this year. On the Monday, you can see that they have delivering basic treatments, which is a module just looking at how they're able to, deliver basic treatments such as flea treatments, worming treatments, bathing a patient, grooming a patient, ear drops, eye drops, all of these things as well. So we do a mixture of in class, but you can also go down into the animal care unit and your practical sessions. You'll see on Thursday you have duties, and that's where you can, pick up the practical sides of this module, and you'll be tested down there on, maybe if there's any animals requiring any medication or placebo, flea and worm treatments. Then you've got A&P, which is anatomy and physiology. So you'll be looking at the anatomy and physiology of your companion animals, dogs and cats. Okay, then you have your principles of basic animal nursing assistance. So you're looking at, this module here is mainly looking at kind of the first aid, animal handling, so how to restrain for patients. You might get a chance to go down to the animal care unit and do some looking at taking heart rates, pulse rates, that sort of thing. So it's a nice opportunity to get a bit of practical work in there as well. Then you'll have something called safe working practices, infection control and parasitology, and just basically looking at the legislation into practice, infection control, how to clean things appropriately, try to prevent, minimise diseases, and parasitology, so looking at all the different parasites that you might come across in practice. Tuesday, you can see that we have tutorials, and tutorials are usually with your course tutor, which is myself, and this is the opportunity for you to meet me by yourself, and we usually go through a personal development plan, just creating a plan for you and how we can get the best studies for you. So usually if you have any issues or anything you'd like to bring up, this can be the time to do that, but you can also arrange personal meetings with myself at any time, so you don't have to wait for these tutorials, but we do have a slotted section for you. Then we have terminology, so just looking at the different words in veterinary terminology that you might not know at the moment, but we'll look at the different words that will be used in practice. It'll give you an understanding when you do go into practice, you'll know what these words mean. Exotics, you'll get to have a look at the anatomy and physiology of our exotic species. And then we'll see you have reception, so we'll be looking at a lot of different reception duties, speaking to clients on the phone, making appointments, all that sort of thing. And then again, you'll notice we have anatomy and physiology, so we have actually 2 sessions on companion animal anatomy and physiology there. On a Wednesday, you'll see that we have core skills. So this is just your communication and numeracy. So we usually do around about level 5 or level 6. So if you haven't completed those in school at that level, then we can have a chance to do that here at the Barony campus. And then you have work placement with myself, just looking at what you're going to do when you go into work placement, the tasks that you need to complete when you're there, and also I'll help you trying to find a placement then as well for you. Then we have accommodation and feed and water, so basically just how to house different species of patients and what feed and water requirements are required for different species as well. And you'll notice on a Thursday we have duties, so all day on a Thursday, basically you go down to the animal care unit and you get to work practically with all the animals down there. And at the moment there is just a revision day on a Friday where you can catch up on work or you can do any assignments and things then. So we do try to incorporate as much practical learning as possible. I mentioned it briefly before, where you get a chance to go down, you might get a chance to do some handling and restraint, just basically learning how to hold for a blood sample or, you know, an injection, that sort of thing. So it's quite nice that we've got the animal care unit down there and we've got the dogs and the different species that you can work with. You might get a chance to take some heart rates, some pulse rates, some respiration rates before going into practice. Small animal handling, so you'll get to do a lot of small animal handling on your Thursday, which is the duties, and you'll get to go through a range of species again, so your rabbits, tortoises, ferrets, and you'll get to work with those, and the animal care instructors down the road will also go through what kind of requirements they need in regards to housing and food and water. I just wanted to mention a little bit about what the Annas have done last year. They got a chance to go on an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to South Africa, and they went out with the HNC Animal Care Group as well. So they got a chance, and this is some photos that they actually did when they were out there, and they've all come back and they've really enjoyed it, which is quite nice to hear. We also had a chance last year's Anna group to go out to the Edinburgh Zoo, not Edinburgh Zoo, the Five Sisters Zoo, sorry. So we got to go out there and have a look at all the different animals as well. So we do try and kind of mix up your learning if where possible. Okay, thank you for listening. Do we have any questions?
Hi, there are a few questions. What I'll do is I'll pass you over to Abby.
Hello. So I see we've had a few questions in the chat, mainly sort of asking if the ANA course will allow direct access into veterinary nursing. So it is not a direct stepping stone. Veterinary nursing degree has its own entry requirements that you will need to meet separately. So the ANA course would give you really good knowledge and experience, and it would also give you the work experience requirements. But if you don't have the HIRES or equivalent, you would need to look at additional ways you could do that. There is options. Someone had asked about whether it would be more suitable to do HNC, HND animal care. If you were to achieve a graded B in your graded unit, then that would give you access into veterinary nursing as long as you have the Nat 5s alongside that. So some students do the ANA course and do their numeracy level 6, which is equivalent to a Nat 5 maths, to get them access into veterinary nursing. Someone has also asked, how big are the classes? So we range between 8 and 20 students each year. That is it fluctuates quite a bit. So currently we've got quite a small cohort, but we have taught up to sort of about 20, 25 some years. And then someone else has asked about work experience. So we require 2 weeks in a veterinary practice for you to enter onto the ANA course. Then had a question on what is the progression after finishing animal nursing. So completing the animal nursing assistant course gives you that professional qualification in being an ANA. So you can go into practice and work as an animal nursing assistant. After that, you could then look at progression options. It might be that you want to go into sort of SSPCA, kennels and catteries. You might want to go on to vet nursing or different animal sectors after that. I've had a question, is there accommodation at Barony? Yes, we do have accommodation. It goes predominantly to under 18s. So if you're sort of older than that, we would advise maybe getting some accommodation in Dumfries, of which we have a free campus bus that comes on and off campus. And you'll then be able to get that sort of student feel as well for living in sort of the city. And then how is the course assessed? So there's varying different forms of assessment. There is some practical assessment. So you are assessed for your handling skills, certain procedures that you need to do. We do have some closed book examinations, but we also have assignments. It might be that you need to produce a poster or a piece of evidence to show your understanding. So there's quite a variety in the ways that you are assessed during the ANA course. Is there learning support available? Yes, there is. We have a really supportive learning support team. So we work very closely with the year tutors. So you would have a full assessment done if required when starting the course, and whatever reasonable adjustments that you require, we would then implement. So it might be that you need additional time in exams or different size font, colours, whatever that might be, we can action that for you with support from the student support team. We do also have an occupational health therapist who works with us on campus, and we can refer to external counsellors as well. So there's a great support network here for you at Barony. And then, is there a good balance of theory and practical? Yep, I'd say it was about a half and half, maybe a little bit more theory than practical, but you get that full day of duties on a Thursday, and you'll have the blocks of work experience as well. But where possible, we do incorporate practicals into our classes. So we might get you out doing some lab work or actually getting a dog out and doing some health checks with them in class.
I'll give one more minute just in case. Oh, there's another question.
Is the timetable the same every term? So we tend to follow the same structure. There tends to be certain topics you'll do in semester 1, and then maybe there'll be a replacement at the same time but of a different subject in semester 2. But some units do carry on throughout the full year.
I'll just give it a few more minutes and just make sure there's no more questions coming in.
Okay. And we are having a on-campus open evening on the 16th of November, is that correct?
7th of November.
7th of November, from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So you'll be able to come onto Barony campus and actually meet some of your teaching team and ask any questions as well.
There's another question.
Is there an end of year written exam? So we do have some closed book exams, and part of the Skills and Education Group, who is the awarding body, there is an A&P exam that's sort of multiple choice, that is a closed book exam that you sit on a computer in controlled conditions, and some of the other modules do have written exams, but some are assignments or presentations or producing sort of a standard operating procedure that you might see in vet practice. So there is a variety, but there is closed book written exams. But if student support was required, we could give you lots of support for that. They've got, if I had 1 week's work experience in a veterinary practice but have done voluntary work on a conservation programme abroad, would that be enough to meet entry requirements? It would be ideal if you could get 2 weeks veterinary practice experience if possible, it's mainly to ensure that you definitely want to do this course and that this is the right career option for you. Some people get into vet practice and realise that perhaps it doesn't suit them so much, or it really sort of gives a lot of passion to people to carry on. So we would advise 2 weeks where possible. Anything on top of that, additional, doing different things, is a positive and will make you stand out from the crowd. So that's fantastic that you've done some conservation work. And even if you could get into a kennels and cattery, or sort of a dairy farm, doing a bit of lambing in springtime, those would all be great additions to the 2 weeks veterinary work experience.
I'll just give it a few more minutes, make sure no more questions come through. Okay. I think that's us.
Well, thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.